Engaging the bodily kinesthetic intelligence, rethinking school curriculum. If we know that some students think best through movement, touch, and physical experience, then why are they still expected to sit still, stay quiet, and learn through passive observation? Why does the school system reward those who thrive in stationary, text-heavy environments while treating bodily kinesthetic learners as if their natural intelligence is disruptive rather than valuable? Could it be that by forcing physical learners to fit into sedentary molds, we are not only ignoring their potential, but actively suppressing it? If learning happens through doing, then shouldn't classrooms be places where students are allowed to move, build, create, and engage with the world physically? Students with bodily kinesthetic intelligence don't just learn with their minds. They process through their hands, their limbs, their coordination, and their movement. They understand concepts through action, not abstraction. Give them a chance to role-play a historical event, build a working model, sculpt a concept, or choreograph a response to literature, and suddenly learning becomes dynamic, personal, and deeply memorable. But keep them chained to a desk, and you risk turning vibrant learners into disengaged students. Not because they lack intelligence, but because the environment isn't designed to honor their way of thinking. These students shine when they're allowed to move their bodies with purpose, to practice manual tasks, develop physical routines, or experiment with tools and materials. Imagine classrooms where learning involves hands-on labs, real-world simulations, or kinesthetic learning stations. Ask a student to construct a working prototype, act out a scientific principle, or physically navigate a math problem using objects or floor space, and you'll see how quickly they begin to engage. Wouldn't that be a more inclusive and effective way to tap into their deep physical understanding of space, timing, and flow? Bodily kinesthetic learners have exceptional control over movement and spatial awareness. Whether it's seen in their athletic ability, craftsmanship, dance, or physical problem solving. Why aren't we encouraging them to explore careers and disciplines that require precision, agility, and coordination, like physical therapy, architecture, performing arts, surgery, or sports science? And why aren't more subjects infused with physical learning methods, like creating movement-based memory systems or building real models of abstract concepts? If learning through the body is just as valid as learning through reading, then shouldn't the curriculum reflect that? If we continue to design schools that only reward stillness, silence, and desk-based tasks, we're not just limiting kinesthetic learners, we're sending a message that their natural intelligence isn't welcome in academic spaces. So the real question becomes, are we creating classrooms that allow students to think with their whole bodies, or are we asking them to leave part of their intelligence at the door? Because when bodily kinesthetic learners are given the opportunity to move, touch, feel, and build, they don't just understand concepts, they embody them. And that is learning at its most powerful. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence is often mistaken as being purely athletic, but in truth, it is the profound ability to learn, think, and express through movement, touch, and physical experience. Students with this intelligence understand the world not just through ideas and words, but through actions, hands-on manipulation, and the wisdom of the body itself. Yet traditional education, built around sitting still, listening, and memorizing, often sidelines these learners, expecting them to adapt to a system that asks them to silence one of their most powerful cognitive tools, their bodies. If movement is how they learn best, shouldn't classrooms be designed to move with them, not against them? Imagine a learning environment where students aren't confined to desks for hours, but are encouraged to construct models, role-play historical events, simulate scientific processes, or physically map out mathematical relationships. What if solving a geometry problem involved building a shape with their hands? Or studying ecosystems meant creating a living flowchart of species interdependence through group movement? Learning for kinesthetic students should be active, embodied, and experiential, making knowledge something they can literally hold, build, and feel in motion. When bodily kinesthetic intelligence is engaged, students begin to understand concepts in deeper, more intuitive ways. They can sense balance and tension in structures, visualize dynamics through physical simulation, and grasp complex sequences by reenacting them physically. Over time, this nurtures adults who are not only practically skilled and physically aware, but who have a natural ability to innovate, problem solve, and adapt through tactile and kinetic intelligence. They don't just know concepts, they know how to apply them in the real physical world. Developing this intelligence fully leads to professionals who excel in fields where precision, coordination, and physical insight are critical. Surgeons, architects, engineers, dancers, athletes, pilots, designers, and tradespeople who blend craft with conceptual mastery. But beyond professional application, these individuals also develop a stronger relationship to their own health, environment, and emotional states because they are attuned to how experience is registered and remembered in the body. Isn't that a vital form of intelligence for personal and collective resilience? Bodily kinesthetic intelligence also nurtures problem-solving skills that are holistic, spatial, and dynamic. These learners can visualize systems from the inside out, test them physically, and adapt them based on real-world feedback. They learn that trial and error is not failure, it's part of the rhythm of mastery. In a future where innovation depends on adaptability and hands-on experimentation, shouldn't we be empowering students who naturally think by doing? In a world that is increasingly virtual and disconnected from the physical, bodily kinesthetic learners remind us that true understanding often comes from engagement, craftsmanship, and presence. They teach us that knowledge isn't only constructed mentally, it's shaped physically through trial, interaction, and tangible exploration. But if we continue to force these learners into motionless models of education, we risk not only alienating them, but losing a profound way of knowing that could anchor the future in reality, balance, and resilience. To truly nurture bodily kinesthetic intelligence, educators must design active learning experiences across all subjects. Let students build architectural models when studying geometry, perform plays to internalize history, craft science experiments that involve movement and coordination, and explore literature through the physical reenactment of scenes or emotions. Movement should not be a reward after learning. It should be an integral part of the learning itself. When we engage bodily kinesthetic intelligence fully, we don't just create better athletes or builders, we create more grounded, skilled, and adaptable human beings. In valuing the intelligence of the body, we honor a way of thinking that is vital to innovation, craftsmanship, leadership, and sustainable living. In doing so, education becomes not just something we think about, it becomes something we live, build, and move through with purpose and creativity.